Welcome to E3, Engage and Empower with Empathy, a podcast brought to you by the Empathy Collective, a consulting firm that helps business leaders inspire change, one conversation at a time. I'm Rebecca Dreamy, your host and the founder of the Empathy Collective, and we are building a community of like-minded leaders and experts who all share the same passion, taking care of people at work. Whether you are a blue-collar worker or white-collar worker, small business owner or corporate executive, you belong in this community. Too often, workplaces talk about empathy as a buzzword. But my guest today lives it. Anqi Xia, the founder of Cozy Spa Retreat Group, has built more than a spa brand. She's created a sanctuary of care and belonging. Her locations in Mississauga and Oakville, these are near Toronto, Canada, not only offer premium massage and reflexology, but also serve as a safe landing spot for many of her staff who are new to Canada. By prioritizing emotional well-being, flexible schedules, and genuine one-on-one support, she's helping her employees find both stability and purpose, and that shows up in every client experience. In this episode, we'll explore how empathy fuels her leadership, transforms her workplace culture, and ripples out to touch the lives of everyone who walks through her doors. This is E3, Engage and Empower with Empathy. Anqi, it is so nice to have you on the show today. I've heard so many good things about you as a business owner and how you've infused empathy into your workplace. So we'll definitely talk about that today. But I'd love to just start by hearing a little bit about your journey. Have you always been an entrepreneur? How did you end up becoming a founder of a wellness spa?
Thank you so much, Rebecca. I'm really happy to be here. Also, it's my honor to be part of your conversation. So my journey really started very simple. When I was younger, I worked at the front desk of a clinic. I often saw clients walked in with such a tired face. They would say to me, my body is in pain, I'm stressed, my back is stiff, that's why I'm here. So those words stayed with me. It reminds me I want to create my own place that people can rely on when they need a space to recharge and breathe, especially in our fast-paced world. And later I opened my own spa, I did not want to be just about services. I want to build a place of care, a place where both my client and my staff could feel understood, supported, and safe. To me, wellness is not just a service. It's a feeling of belonging and human connection. That's our heart behind everything we do. At the beginning, successful to me was attract as much as client I can, make as much as money we can. But over the time, my mission goes far beyond just doing a business. It's all about building a brand.
I love that, and I'm sure it's evolved so much over time. And obviously, you probably started off on your own, and then you had to start building a team of staff. What was your approach to building that team? So you mentioned you really wanted your staff to feel that sense of care just as much as your clients, so that they could translate that care over to your customers. What was your approach in hiring and recruiting people? Did you look for specific traits in people, or?
Many of my team members are newcomer to Canada. Some of them come from challenged economic background and they feel isolated from the local community. They are hardworking, but anxious about language or fitting in. I recognize that feeling because I was there. When I came to Canada 12 years ago with my family as an investor immigrant, I had to start from zero in a new culture. I did not have local experience. Through my business, I want to show them they are part of something meaningful. Our brand matters and they matter too. So from the beginning, I want to create a workplace where people could belong. I focus on hiring people with some good heart, kindness, and empathy. This is the first. because skills can be trained later on. I would rather training technique than fix their attitudes. So my approach is to keep empathy and structure in balance. For example, if we need to make a new policy, I will always explaining the reason why we do this. I want my team to understand we have this structure is there to protect them, not to limit them. So when people understand why they follow their heart, it's not about the fear, right? To me, the best kind of leadership is built on human connection and structure. That's why we focus on create a strong system, setting clear expectations, building leaders inside of my team. Each location, we need a responsible and ownership from the team. When they feel trusted, they set up and they deliver. So that's my approach.
I love that. So you don't just have one location, you have multiple
We
locations?
have multiple locations and we
Okay.
still expanding.
That's really cool. Since you have different locations, do you find it difficult as a leader to maintain the same culture at each site location? Does that ever come up for you?
Yeah, at the beginning, it was very difficult because I think as a responsible owner, I need to do everything by myself. But over the years, I realized if I want to expand, I need to trust my team, need to delegate. So all my manager is from my team. So they feel they trusted, they will set up and they deliver. So all the locations, they have their own personality, but the feeling is the same. Welcoming, warm, and trustworthy.
In conversations with business leaders who are in a different context, so they're in a corporate context, they tend to have that challenge. If it's a larger company with multiple geographic locations, many cultures tend to develop. So it's really a testament to your leadership style that you're able to maintain. I like how you put it. They each have a unique personality, but
Yeah.
they still align with the culture that you've created. And I really appreciate how hard you've worked to ensure that everyone feels seen and heard, especially given their background as immigrants coming into Canada. I can only imagine what that's like to come into a foreign land and have to learn a new language and find a job and really get settled. Do you have any examples of employees you've brought on where you've seen them transform in a positive way? Have you seen any of your staff members change as they've started working with you?
Yeah, like I said, some of them, they just refuse to connect with the society. They live in their own worlds. They refuse to study. They refuse to social. So I encourage them, I tell them you have to go to school to learn the language first. Without language, you cannot do anything. You don't have your life. So I will help you to balance your study, your work. So they start to go to ESL class and they have their own social, they have a classmate and they know more and more about language. So they adopt it. And I can see the confidence on their face.
So you would say language is the first barrier, uh,
Yes.
where you try to help them out. I was just curious, since you were bringing in immigrants, where are they coming from typically?
Majority is Chinese.
I absolutely love that. And then you feel a sense of community together. I also love that you mentioned to me a really great example offline, how you've introduced things like flexible scheduling. You even mentioned this with some of your staff who are taking English as a foreign language. So you've introduced flexible scheduling and more regular one-on-one check-ins with your employees as two examples of the way you've really created a space where people feel seen and heard. Do you have a specific example of how some of these special accommodations you've made for your staff have really impacted a specific team member or even improved the client experience, or maybe even both?
Yeah, after those years, I realized many of my teams, especially like mom and the newcomers, they are struggling with balance. So instead of a fixed shift, we create like flexible days. We schedule our shift each week. So this allowed if someone needs to have days off, we adjust it. As I mentioned before, some of my newcomers, they attend ESL English class during the week. And a few therapists have been preparing for their registered massage therapist exam. So anytime they come to me, they ask, oh, can I go to school? Can I go to learn this, learn that? I said, go ahead. Don't hesitate. I'm here to help you to balance your life, your work, and your study. You just take your classes as much as you can. So supporting their growth inside and outside of the work make our whole team strong. I also doing like one-on-one check-ins regularly, not just for the evaluation, just have a heart-to-heart chit-chat. When you have a team made of different positions like front desk or different kind of therapist, because we have a foot massage, facial treatment, body massage, and we have a scalp hair wash massage, all different positions. So they will have the moment of conflict and misunderstanding. Their position is different. The angle is different. So the perspective is also different. I always tell them, don't let the small things turn into a big things. If there has an issue, talk about it same day. Solve daily problem in time. Don't carry into tomorrow. And the most important things definitely don't hold inside. I always tell them the issue is like a sesame, but you hold inside after daily, and then become a watermelon. I try to create an open culture where the communication is safe and encouraged. If something happened, we sit down, we talk, and we listen both sides. No blame, just a solution. Over time, they have learned that it's okay to speak up because it's not about who is right, who is wrong. It's about working as a team.
I love that approach, not pointing blame, but focusing on the problem itself rather than the person involved. That's really important, and giving people the space to share right away so it doesn't turn into a watermelon. I love that analogy. I'm going to continue to use that one. You talked about how you're at a stage in your business now where you're really trying to build a brand and create consistency around what that brand stands for. I've talked to quite a few business owners on this podcast, and I know you would definitely reach a point in your growth phase where you're trying to balance business goals while also maintaining the culture and the consistency that you really want your brand to stand for. How do you find that balance as you move into this growth phase and really try to sustain that empathy-driven brand that you've built?
Initially, as a new brand, the biggest challenge was simply getting clients through the door, right? After we heavily promote with social media to share our stories, highlight our services, and collaborate with many influencers, that helped us attract many clients. It's really easy to get lost in numbers and the marketing. But I remind myself, our true product is care. We can never ever forget that. So clients often book weeks or even months in advance for special occasional like a birthday, anniversary, or the moment of personal healings. We have to understand how meaningful that is. This isn't just a job. You get a chance to be part of someone's special moment. Talk about the balance, empathy with a business, also meaning making tough decisions sometimes. Like, for example, setting deposits or saying no to unreasonable requests or adjusting price when our rent is get raised, get higher. So it's not always easy, but I have learned that true empathy includes being honest and fair to everyone, to my client, to my staff, and to my business itself. So when it comes to consistency, I believe is less about being perfect. It's all about connect. So every cozy retreat location, Mississauga, Oakville, and we are still expanding. We will have a third location soon. Like I said, each location I see, they have their own personalities. But the feeling, the clients come in, the feeling should be the same. Welcome, they feel like I can trust this place. So that's why I train my team, not just on technique, but on energy. How to grade, how to listen, how to make a client feel cared for. I'm very aware that growth brings pressure. Expanding brings my pressure. More location, more booking, more staff, more responsibility. At the end of the day, I really don't see growth and empathy as the opposite. They actually feed each other. That's what I do every day. I try to build a caring culture. Your team not naturally deliver better service. So happy client brings your growth, and that success allows you to take even better care of your people. It's a beautiful circle that I try to protect every day. So to answer your question, how do I balance business goal with empathy? I think is by never forgetting that people are the business. The system, the numbers, the marketing, they all matters. But at the end of the day, everything starts and ends with people.
I couldn't have said it better myself. I think we tend to forget that when we're running a business and we're so focused on the numbers and the growth, we forget that we're all humans, and without the humans running the business, there is no business. So thank you for sharing that message, which is so simple, yet so easy to forget at the same time. I'd love for you to just kind of put your business owner hat on for me. If you were if you were to give one piece of advice to another business owner who maybe is not as far along as you in their growth phase, but they see that as their vision, what is one piece of advice you would give a business owner who's trying to build and expand?
One advice.
One thing, maybe a mistake you made and you were like, "Man, if I had known that, if someone had told me this, it would have been so much easier." Any example you can share?
I would tell them, be yourself first, be happy first. Because when you are happy, you bring all the joy to the people surrounding you, your team, your clients, and your family. And the most important things, delegate. All the team, everybody has their own responsibility. You cannot do everything by yourself. It's not about losing power. It's about we work as a team.
I remember you mentioning that in the very beginning of our conversation, how you learned that lesson in the beginning, how you had to empower others to take on tasks. Otherwise, you would become overwhelmed. It's a great piece of advice. I appreciate you sharing, and it's been such a pleasure having you. I'd love for you to share with my listeners, where can they find you? What's your website? What are your social handles so that they can find you if they want to learn more about your spa?
We have two locations. One is in Mississauga, called the Cozy Foot Spa. Another one is in Oakville. It's called the Comfort Foot Spa. It's all under Cozy Retreat Spa Group. We have a social media. You can search us as the name Cozy Foot Spa and the Comfort Foot Spa. I really looking forward to have you come to my facility.
Yes, for anyone in the Toronto area, definitely go check out the Cozy Foot Spa or the Comfort Foot Spa. Clearly, you just got a behind the scenes look of their culture and how they treat their staff. So obviously, that's going to translate into the care that you would receive as a customer there. So thank you so much for giving us a little behind the scenes look into your leadership style, Anqi, and thank you for being with me today.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
If you enjoyed this podcast and would like to hear more, please subscribe wherever you like to listen to podcasts. And if you would like to learn more about the Empathy Collective, check out our website, theempathycollective.com. Life is too short. Let's take care of each other at work so that together we can make this world a better place.